Namaste children. I hope you all are doing good. Okay, fine. This video is for class 9th chapter 3 operating system. Okay. So what is operating system children? Operating system is a system software. Operating system is a system software. In the previous chapter, I had explained about software and its types. Okay. Also, I had explained about system software. What is software children? Software means it is a set of instructions, or we can say set of programs. So based upon your instructions, your system will act. Okay. So operating system is a system software. Also it acts as an interface. What do you mean by interface? That is intermediator. Operating system acts as an interface between the user and the computer. Okay. So operating system acts as an interface between the user and the computer. So if we speak about the interface, there are two types of interface. One is CLI and another one is GUI. CLI stands for command line interface. CLI stands for command line interface. GUI stands for graphical user interface. GUI stands for graphical user interface. So in command line interface, you can give the instructions in the form of text. Okay. So in command line interface, you can give your instructions in the form of text. It is not user friendly. Only via text you can interact with the system. So example for CLI is DOS and Unix. So DOS and Unix are the examples of command line interface. Next we will see about graphical user interface. So in graphical user interface, rather than text, with the help of mouse, you can interact with any applications like Word, Paint, Microsoft Office, like PowerPoint, Excel, like that. Okay. So in graphical user interface, rather than text, we can make use of the mouse to interact with any applications like Excel, PowerPoint, Word, WordPad. Okay. An example for graphical user interfaces, all kind of Windows operating system. It may be any versions like Windows 7, 8, 8.1. In your system also you might be using Windows 7, 8, 8.1 or 10, any versions. So all kind of Windows operating systems comes under GUI. It supports GUI, that is graphical user interface. It is user friendly also, because with the help of mouse buttons you can select the menus. With the help of mouse buttons you can select the icons, options. Okay, that's why it is user friendly. I hope you all understood what is operating system. What is operating system, children? It is an intermediate. It is like an interface between the user and the computer. So if we speak about interface, there are two types of interface. What are they? That is CLI and GUI. CLI stands for command line interface. GUI stands for graphical user interface. Okay, fine. Now let us see about the functions of operating system. Actually, operating system performs various functions like process management, memory management, IO. IO stands for input output management, and file management. Okay, first let us see about process management. What do you mean by process, children? The program which is currently running, the program which is currently executing, that is called as process. See, for example, now I am teaching. So I am in teaching process. You are learning, you are in learning process. Okay. So what is process? The program which is currently running, which is currently executing, that is called as process. Okay. So in process management, what is the function? What is the main function of operating system? See, when you are executing, when executing means running. So when you are executing any program, what operating system will do is, it will load the currently executing program. Okay. So it will load the currently executing program in the main memory. Even we can also call the main memory as RAM, random access memory. So what is the function of operating system in process management? It will load the currently executing program in the main memory, that is RAM. Then what CPU will do is, it executes one instructions at a time. Okay, so if it is a single programming system means, if it is a single programming environment means, it executes one instructions at a time. Whereas if it is a multi-programming environment means, it executes multiple instructions at a time. Okay, what is the difference between single programming environment. What is the difference between multiple programming environment? Single programming environment means it executes one instructions at a time. Whereas multi-programming environment means it executes multiple programs at the same time. Okay, fine. So this is the work of operating system in process management. Okay, fine. Next, we will see about memory management. See, always operating system will keep track of memory. It will, what it will do is, see, operating system cannot load all the programs in the main memory because you know that main memory is only limited. So what it will do is it will load the currently executing program in the main memory, and the program which is not frequently used, which is not currently used, will be stored in the free space of the disk. So that is the function of operating system in the memory management. So what is the function of operating system in the memory management? It keeps track on the memory. Also, main memory is very limited, no? So it cannot dump, it cannot load all the programs in the main memory. So what it will do is, it will load only the currently executed program in the main memory, and the remaining programs which is not frequently used, which is not currently executed, will be loaded in the free space of the disk. So this is a task of operating system in the main memory. Okay. Now let us see about I/O management. We can also call input output storage devices as a peripheral devices. Okay. In the previous chapter, already have taught you what is input device, what is output device, and examples of input and output devices and storage devices. See, as a user, when you are executing any program, you will be giving some input through input devices. Input devices may be keyboard, mouse, joystick, scanner. And you will be expecting the output devices from any output devices like monitor, printer, plotter. Okay. So as a user, we will give some instructions and we will expect some output. So what is the function of operating system in I/O management? So what it will do is, it controls the devices. It manages the input devices, output devices, storage devices. Okay. So what it will do, it controls the input devices, output devices, and storage devices. So it acts as an interface between the devices and the CPU. Okay, this is the main function of operating system in I/O management. Next, we will see about file management. Even file management is also one of the important function of operating system. So, because of, see, what it will do is, it will enables us to create a file. Also, it enables us to rename the file, to delete the file, to move the file, to close the file. See, normally, if you open any application, you can able to create one file, you can able to close it, you can able to rename it, save as save, like that we are giving, no? It is all because of operating system. So, in file management, what is the main task of operating system is, it will enables the user to create a file, to close the file, to save, to rename. Okay. So this is the main function of operating system in file management. So I hope you all understood about functions of operating system, that is process management, memory management, I/O management, and file management. Okay, fine. Now let us see about the Windows operating system. I hope you all are aware of Windows operating system and its different versions. Okay. So Windows operating system is provided by the Microsoft. Who is the owner of Microsoft, children? Bill Gates. Bill Gates is the owner of Microsoft, isn't it? So, Windows operating system supports GUI. Already I have explained about GUI. So, Windows operating system supports GUI, that is graphical user interface. So, what I said, graphical user interface means it is a friendly interface. It is user friendly. With the help of mouse options, we can select the icons, we can select the menus. So we can interact with an applications like calculator, WordPad, Notepad, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So with the help of mouse buttons, we can select the menus, we can click the icons. So all the actions we can perform. So it is user friendly. So examples of Windows operating system versions, that is Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows Aero, Windows 7, Windows 8, 8.1 and Windows 10. First, let us see about Windows XP. Actually, Windows XP has two versions. One is Home Edition, another one is Professional. See, Home Edition is for home users and Professional is for business purpose. In Windows Vista, we can see many multimedia features. So what we can see in Windows Vista, we can see many multimedia features. Next one is Windows Aero. Aero stands for authentic, energetic, reflective and open. Okay, Aero stands for authentic, energetic, reflective and open. See, in this Windows Aero operating system, it is a pleasant, powerful and smooth running operating system. Actually, visually it is pleasant and it is smooth and powerful running operating system. Next one is Windows 7. Windows 7, it is fast, reliable and compatible operating system. See, what do you mean by reliable, children? Reliable means we can trust. Okay. So, Windows 7 is fast, reliable and compatible operating system. What do you mean by compatibility? Compatibility means it supports any programs from any latest versions. Okay. It supports and executes any programs on latest version. So that's why Windows 7 is faster, reliable and compatible operating system. Windows 8, 8.1, 10. We can use in tabs, laptops, isn't it? So even Windows 8, 8.1, 10 supports cloud connectivity on devices. It supports cloud connectivity on devices. Already I have explained in detail about cloud computing in network chapter. But then also I will explain in detail about cloud computing. See children, say for example, you are running a big organization. Okay. So you are doing a project for multiple users. So for that what you have to do? You have to purchase multiple machines. You have to purchase many hardware devices. You have to purchase many softwares and you have to get the license. So many factors are there. So it is cost consuming also. So in order to avoid that, what you can do, in order to save the cost, what you can do, you can hire it. You can hire it from the cloud services. Who will provide the cloud services? See, Microsoft. Microsoft, Google, they are providing the cloud services. Even Amazon also. So Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they are providing the cloud services. So what kind of services they are providing? That is, they will provide the virtual operating system. Virtual means, what do you mean by virtual? Virtual means like artificial also we can say. So they provide the virtual operating system, virtual machines, virtual hardware, virtual platform. So what you can do? You can make use of virtual operating system, virtual platform, virtual hardware devices and you can work in it and you can pay for it. So whatever you are using, you can pay for what you are using. So Windows 8, 8.1, 10, it supports cloud connectivity on devices. Okay, fine. I hope you all understood about Windows operating system and different versions of Windows operating system. Next, we will see about Linux operating system, children. Now let us see about Linux operating system. Before seeing this, let me tell you one thing, children. Actually, the main goal of GNU is to provide free software. The main goal of GNU is to provide free software. Even Linux operating system is also one of the example of GNU. Linux operating system, it was developed by Linus Torvalds in the year 1991. Actually, Linux is the clone of Unix operating system. Linux is the clone of Unix operating system. Torvalds, he was very much impressed in the features of Unix and he has written his own source code for Linux operating system. So based upon this, even other programmers also, they have developed different versions. Okay. Now let us see about the features of Linux operating system. It supports multi-programming, time sharing, multitasking, virtual memory management, shared libraries, reliability, backward compatibility, simple installation, low cost. First, let us see about multi-programming. So the name itself specifies it executes multiple programs at the same time. Multi-programming, that is, it executes multiple programs at the same time. Since it executes multiple programs at the same time, even it also supports time sharing. Time sharing means it allocates the time slice for each and every program. So all the programs will be in the queue. So normally in the queue system, what we will follow, first come first service. The same concept is applied for time sharing. So it allocates the time slice for each and every program. So all the program will be queued. Okay. So it provides first come first service. It executes first program at the first time. Next one is multitasking. Task means like a job or work also we can say. So it performs multiple jobs. Say for examples, at the same time it accepts instructions from the user. At the same time it can able to read and write on the disk. Okay, say for example even Windows operating system also we can able to work in multiple applications, like at the same time you can surf something in net. At the same time you can connect your mobile in the system and you can make use of WhatsApp. Also you can make use of any operating system. Also you can make use of any applications like PowerPoint, Excel, Word, WordPad, calculator, like that. So you can do multiple jobs. In the same way, Linux operating system also, it performs multitasking. Next one is virtual memory management. So even we can also call virtual as artificial. Okay, see, actually physical, in order to run the multiple programs, physical memory is not sufficient. In order to run the multiple programs, physical memory is not sufficient. That's why even hard disk also have been partitioned as a logical partition. Even we can also call the logical partition as a swap partition. So what it will do is, so the currently executing program, currently running program will be stored in the main memory, and the program which is not frequently used, that will be stored in the free space of the disk. I hope you all understood about virtual memory management. Next we will see about shared libraries. See, in general terms, what you can see in the library, children, you can see the collection of books. In the same way, it contains, shared library contains collection of files. So all the applications will make use of the files from shared libraries. So Linux operating system also manages shared libraries. Okay, so what it will do is, all the applications will make use of the files from the shared libraries, so that it can save the hard disk and the memory. Next one is reliability. Reliability means we can trust. So it is more reliable. Linux operating system is more reliable, means we can trust. Also it is stable. So for no failures also occur in Linux operating system. Next one is backward compatibility. What do you mean by compatibility, children? Means it supports and executes any programs on latest versions. Next one is simple installation. It is easy to install because it is menu driven. Next one is low cost. It is cost ineffective one, children. I hope you all understood about the features of Linux operating system. Linux was developed by Linus Torvalds in the year 1991. Okay, and these are the features of Linux operating system, that is multi-programming, time sharing, multitasking, virtual memory management, shared libraries, reliability, backward compatibility, simple installation and low cost. Now let us see about mobile operating system. See, we can run the mobile operating systems on smartphones and even on tabs. Okay, so these are the examples of mobile operating system, that is Android OS, iOS, we can also say iPhone OS, and Windows Phone 7. First let us see about Android OS. Android OS, it was developed on 2003 by Andy Rubin. Okay, so in this even we can make use of Google search, Google Play, Play Store, Google Music, like that. Next, iPhone OS, that is developed by Apple in the year 1996. So it was developed by Steve Jobs and Ronald Wayne. Okay. Next one is Windows Phone 7. Windows Phone 7, it was developed by Microsoft. Who is the owner of Microsoft? Bill Gates. He is the owner of Microsoft. Okay, so in the year 2010, Windows Phone 7 has been launched. Also, Samsung, LG, Nokia, these companies also developing Windows Phone 7 devices, like Windows Phone devices. Okay, even Nokia and Microsoft, they have announced that Windows Phone 7 will be the primary operating system for Nokia smartphones. Okay. I hope you all understood about mobile operating system. So these are the examples of mobile operating system, that is Android OS, iPhone OS, Windows Phone 7. Okay. Now let me give a small recap about this chapter, that is operating system. What is operating system, children? It acts as an interface between the user and the computer. Okay. Also in this I have explained about the functions of operating system. Also interface of the operating system. If we speak about the interface, there are two types of interface, that is command line interface and graphical user interface. In which interface we can give the instructions through text, that is command line interface. And in GUI interface, rather than text, with the help of mouse we can select the options. And under the functions of operating system also, I have explained about process management, memory management, IO management and file management. Also, I have explained about the features of Linux operating system, that is multi-programming, time sharing, multitasking, virtual memory management, shared libraries, reliability, backward compatibility, simple installation and low cost. Also, I have explained about the mobile operating system. So, it can run on tabs and smartphones. These are the examples, that is Android OS, iPhone OS, Windows Phone 7. I hope you all understood. If at all, if you have any doubts, you can approach me in WhatsApp group. I will clarify your doubts, children. Thank you.